Welcome back students. In this video we are going to learn lesson number 20 in the world of stars. Students, this is the last lesson of our syllabus for 7th standard. In your previous class you have learned about the universe, in which you had learnt about the stars, galaxies, solar system, etc. Now let's recall some things. What is a galaxy? A group of stars and their planetary systems together form the galaxy. And what are the various components of a galaxy? Our sun and its 9 planets are all the various components of this galaxy. And there are many different types of stars also. We have already learnt about galaxies and stars as well as the solar system and its different components. Now let's learn about the life cycle of stars. Contraction, expansion and rise in temperature bring about changes in stars over a long period of time. Accordingly, the stars are called sun-like ordinary star, red giant star, red dwarf, massive star, red supergiant star, white dwarf, neutron star. So you can observe it on the screen. The life cycle of stars diagram is shown to you. Okay, stars are born out of nebulae. Nebulae are clouds made up mainly of hydrogen gas and dust particles. The particles in these clouds are attracted towards one another due to the force of gravity. As a result, the cloud contracts and becomes dense and spherical in shape. At the same time, the pressure of the gas at the core of the cloud increases, causing the temperature to rise tremendously, and energy generation processes start there. Such a spherical cloud of hydrogen is called a star. Later, processes such as contraction, expansion, rise in temperature, etc. bring about changes in the nature of the star. These changes occur over a very long period of time and constitute the life cycle of stars. The different forms of the stars or various stages during this life cycle are identified as different types of stars. Observe this picture shown on the screen. The following figure shows different stages in the life cycle of stars after their birth from a nebula. Our solar system is a tiny part of a galaxy called the Milky Way, which is many times larger than the solar system. There are lakhs of stars in the Milky Way, some of them being many times bigger than our sun. Some of them have their own planetary systems. Stars in the Milky Way show a great diversity in color, brightness as well as size. Some stars which appear to be close to one another, making a particular figure, are together known as a constellation. We shall learn more about constellations in this chapter. But before that, let us learn a few basic concepts related to sky watching. Sky watching. Stand still in an open space and look into the distance. What do you notice about the ground and the sky? Now, still looking into the distance, turn around yourself and observe the ground and the sky as you do so. Far away, the sky seems to be touching the ground. The line at which they meet is called the horizon. While turning around oneself, the horizon will be seen to form a circle, and on looking up, the sky will appear to be a sphere based on the circle. The stars and planets moving in the sky appear to be moving on the sphere. This virtual sphere is called the celestial sphere. The circular horizon divides this sphere into two halves. First is zenith. While standing on the ground, the point on the celestial sphere exactly above our head is called the zenith. While standing on the ground, the point on the celestial sphere exactly below our feet is called the nadir. Celestial poles. If we extend the axis of rotation of the earth in the north and south direction, it will penetrate the celestial sphere at points called the celestial north pole and the celestial south pole respectively. Meridian. In astronomy, the great circle which passes through both the celestial poles and the observer's zenith and nadir is called a meridian. You have to observe the figure carefully. Celestial equator. If we uniformly expand Earth's equator in all directions indefinitely, it will penetrate the celestial sphere along a circle. This circle is known as the celestial equator. It is in the same plane as the Earth's equator. ecliptic. The earth moves around the sun, but seen from the earth, the sun appears to move along a circle on the celestial sphere. This circle, describing the apparent motion of the sun around the earth, is called the ecliptic. Sky and space. Standing in an open space, if we look at the sky on a cloudless night, we see numerous stars against a dark background. The portion of Earth's atmosphere and the portion beyond that, which can be seen in the form of a roof by our eyes while standing on the earth, is called the sky. The continuous empty space between the spheres in the sky is called space. It may contain gas and dust particles. Numerous star clusters have formed in space. Always remember, the place for sky watching should be away from the city, and as far as possible it should be a new moonlight. Binoculars or telescopes should be used for sky watching. Identifying the pole star in the north makes the sky watch easier. Hence, the pole star should be used as a reference point for a sky watch. As the stars in the west set early, sky watching should begin with stars in the west. As in geographical maps, the east and west are shown to the right and left respectively in a sky map. On a sky map, the north and south are towards the bottom and top of the map respectively. This is because the sky map is to be held overhead. Hold the sky map in such way that the direction we face is at the bottom side. Rising and setting of celestial bodies. As Earth rotates from west to east, the sun, moon and the stars in the sky appear to rise in east and set in west. But these celestial bodies do not rise and set at same time daily. The stars rise and set 4 minutes earlier every day. Owing to motion of earth around sun and that of moon around the earth, the sun moves 1 degree every day and the moon moves 12 to 13 degrees. Constellations. A group of stars occupying the celestial sphere and appear to take shapes of animals, humans and objects are called a constellation. The constellations have been named after certain events and beliefs. Western observers have divided celestial spheres into 88 constellations. The ancient Western astronomers have put forward 12 zodiac signs, but Indian astronomers suggested 27 nakshatras. Zodiac signs or Rashi. The ecliptic has been imagined to be divided into 12 equal parts of 30 degrees at the center of ecliptic sphere. Each of these parts is called zodiac sign or Rashi. The zodiac signs are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Nakshatras. The moon completes one revolution around the earth in about 27.3 days. The portion traversed by the moon in one day is called a nakshatra. If one revolution is divided into 27 equal parts, each part is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. Thus, moon traverses through 27 nakshatras in 27.3 days. A nakshatra is named from the brightest star that it contains. The brightest star is called Yogatara. Depending on position of the earth along its orbit, a particular nakshatra can be seen during sky watch. Sun's apparent motion and path. Owing to sun's bright light, an observer cannot see the constellation behind sun, but it is present behind the sun. When the earth is at A, for an observer on earth, the sun appears to be in Scorpio zodiac sign. As earth moves from A to B, the observer says sun has entered Libra zodiac sign. In reality, sun does not move, but observer pursues it due to motion of earth around the sun. As the earth changes its position, a different constellation appears behind the sun, but astrologers express it as if sun has entered into the constellation or zodiac sign or Rashi. This motion of sun is called apparent motion and its path is called as apparent path. The rising of the sun in east and setting in the west is also an effect of apparent motion. Always remember that science has proved that the constituents of the solar system, example planets, satellites and comets, as also distant stars and constellations, do not have any influence on human life. Man stepped on the moon in the 20th century. He will conquer Mars in the 21st century. Hence, in this age of science, holding on to beliefs which have been proved to be wrong through numerous scientific tests is an unnecessary waste of one's time, energy, and money. It is necessary to consider all these issues with a scientific frame of mind. So, students, in this way, we have completed our lesson in the world of stars. Now, we have to read the lesson carefully and complete the exercise given on page number 136. So in this lesson, let's recall what things we have learned. We have learned about the life cycle of stars, our solar system, sky watching, about constellations, zodiac signs or Rashi, nakshatras, sun's apparent motion and path. So various kinds of things we have learned. So you have to go through all these things, watch all the videos and study well and take care.